Hey divas, we're going to be doing things a little bit different today. As you can see, I've got 3 different decks laid out with 3 different crystals. So we're just going to be doing a pick a crystal reading. You're going to use your intuition to pick the deck that feels, that you feel drawn to in any way. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate you. If you resonate with the reading in any way, go ahead and hit subscribe. We're going to be doing a private personal reading giveaway at 50 subscribers, and I believe that we're only 4 people away, so stay tuned on details for that. If you are returning to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Show some love, like, comment, and share to get us boosted out to some other diva baddies that need their tarot read as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. We are going to be starting with this Amazonite heart crystal. This one is paired with the Light Seers Tarot. Pause if you need to. In the second pile, this is the Star Spinner Tarot deck with a fluorite tower. Love her. And for our third pile, we've got some Jasper crystal chips. And this is the Crystal Visions Tarot. Here's a better view of one of those stones so you can get a better glance at it. But we'll start with pile number 1. Okay, collective, if you selected the heart as your crystal and the Light Seer Tarot as your deck of the day, this is going to be your reading, okay? We've already got the cards laid out for us. So this is really beautiful, you guys. This is telling a story. This is like a process of initiation, okay? And for some of you, you're going to even resonate with that term and that way of referring to this period of your life, because it's like you understood kind of like what you were about to undergo, and it's not necessarily the specific details, but for a lot of you, this is the energy of when someone is deciding that they're going to start taking their business seriously. They're going to start taking their life seriously, whatever that looks like for you. And that doesn't mean serious, doesn't necessarily mean serious all the time, as in rigid or we'll leave it at that. It's knowing that you're fully capable, like truly believing in yourself and your capabilities, and believing, like, it's kind of like this, why not? Like, why wouldn't it work for you? Why couldn't it work for you? And it's like you understood that there was a lot of like an alchemical process. You understood that there was a lot of change and transformation that you were going to have to undergo, and you've been undergoing it. It feels like you've went from being able to, it's like going from taking your ideas and just having a lot of energy, having a lot of chaotic energy that's going to resonate with somebody, and being able to like get that out and see that into the real world. Like it's like this is, all of this describes or showcases the journey between these two places. And it's not limited to that. That's just a way in particular that it's sticking out to me for this collective. It's been a lot of like reevaluation about literally everything, about how you even reevaluate, how you connect with the world around you, how you receive, what you put out into the world. You've been spending, this is like intentional action and intentional, lots of consideration here with what you're manifesting, like even down to the nitty-gritty, even down to the little details. Like this is someone that has been very focused, solution oriented, accepting what comes, acknowledging, but not absorbing is what I'm hearing. Like just allowing things to shape and mold and refine like what you perceive to be as like wants and desires, like allowing yourself to be molded and to be changed. Okay. Wow. There's like very heavy entrepreneur energy coming through with this. You're someone that doesn't stay like down for very long is what I'm hearing, and maybe that's going to resonate with you, like the specific wording. But again, that solution oriented focus, like that keeps coming up, and it's like you have been like the way that you would personally describe this like period of time that you've been undergoing, you would describe it as like tests, trials, like a like I wouldn't say a trial run, but in a sense, just like kind of seeing how you're going to show, like if you're really going to put your money where your mouth is, where if you're really going to go all in on yourself, if you're really going to keep showing up for yourself. And I feel like this is like very monumental for some of you, because it's almost like the reason why some of this doubt is coming up is because you went all in on yourself before, but really it was a little disorganized, right? It really wasn't, because there were some things you weren't looking at honestly. Okay, I'm getting a picture of the Fool card, and there's no shame with that. Like it's all been a part of the process, right? But it's almost like you are shaming yourself. Like there's a failure to see how the messy beginnings led you to like they were very important. They were stepping stones, because they were the first steps. Like you wouldn't be where you are now had you not taken those first steps, uncomfortable as they might have been. Like it still got you to where you are in this point in time. And there's a shift here, and I feel like you've noticed that the shift in the air lately. Spring starting to work its way back in, starting to feel this burst of energy, of color, of like this feeling of life coming back to you. Yeah, okay, so the King of Wands. For some of you, you've been learning what it means to what it even looks like for you to take control of your own life. I feel like for some of you, you've really kind of no shame, no judgment, of course. Like there's situations, there's things you've went through that have been out of your control, right? And this is about like making the conscious decision to take control of where you are at fully, so that you do not find yourself back in the hands of people that don't have your best interest. And that's gonna look different for everybody, but it feels like that was very significant for someone. In what ways are you holding yourself back? In what ways are you convincing yourself there's no clear way forward? There's no clear path. Like there's no clean escape. Like in what ways are you telling yourself that and kind of keeping yourself in this cyclical like mental agony? And take what resonates, of course, with us always, but this is just, in what ways are you keeping yourself trapped? In what ways are you fighting with yourself? Getting a visual of like a lock and a key. And Spirit's saying, like, you have both. They're both in your hands. Like, you may feel like you're going in blind, but you're not. Spirit is asking you to slow down and to think like you've got what you need. You've already proven that. You've already proven that you've got enough to get started. You've already proven that, like, you've got it in you. You've already shown yourself that. It's time to question whether or not your subconscious is kind of feeding you these same narratives, because it senses the shift. Maybe there's an error decoding these energetic differences, these energetic shifts. You're calling in a lot of new energy, right? And it's like, imagine getting a lot of information without a key, without knowing how to decipher it, without knowing how to decode. It just feels chaotic. It just is a lot of information, right? And so it's about your body your body's keeping up with that. There's something here about, like, the systems that make up who you are getting on board. There is an alignment that is happening on a cellular level, okay? And it takes time is what I'm hearing, but not in the way that you're perceiving time. Sometimes we, like, aren't able to perceive it for what it is, so we perceive the effects of it, if that makes sense. Don't overthink it is what I'm hearing. Okay, is there anything else to finish this message for the collective? Practice gratitude and know that it's yours. There's a level of impatience here, and again, it's coming from this perception of things taking time and understanding that the way that time is for us in this reality, and even for us on an individual level, like, it's different. It's just different across the board. It's a construct. Know that it is coming. There's something here about, like, not getting so focused on when, and know that it is. And Spirit's saying, are you prepared? Are you ready? Do you have all the knowledge? Or are you sitting here saying, yeah, I'll do it when it comes? And it's like, that's not how it works. Like, there's something here about sharpen the skill now. Put in the effort now. Learn the skill now. Take the course now. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. Yeah, I hope that this resonated with you, collective. Have a great rest of your week. Again, if this resonated with you in any way and you feel compelled to subscribe, we are only about 4 subscribers away from that giveaway. But I hope that you have a great rest of your day. See you in the next reading. All right, collective, this is going to be message for pile number 2. This is if you picked the Fluorite Tower Crystal in the Star Spinner Tarot. I'm going to set that over to the side. I went ahead and laid out some cards for us. First, let's take a deep breath, okay? Rest is required, baby love, okay? Rest is very important for you. There's a message here about burning yourself out. Thinking, like, I'm getting a visual of someone literally, like, spinning their tires, spinning their wheels, and feeling like they can't stop, feeling like you can't put something down, like you can't walk away, like you can't rest. There's something about feeling like that's turning your back, like that's giving up, like that is not being consistent. There's a level of shame that's been blocking you, and maybe you're not even perceiving it that way. You're just noticing how you feel, and it's feeling maybe very disconnected from your intuition, feeling disconnected from your passions. And Spirit is saying, like, you are and you'll take what resonates. Some of the verbiage that I use, it's because it will resonate with somebody specifically. So try not to attach too much to it and just leave it for somebody else. But you're working towards something that is like your calling. You're working towards something that you cannot miss. Like, it is for you. This is who you are. We have the star here. So there's something here about when we rest, when we put something down, trust that we can pick it back up. Trust that it's going to be there for us, that if it's meant for us, that it will be there, that it's going to come to us exactly how it's meant to, exactly how it should, in a way that best serves us, okay? But when we feel like we need to keep going, when we feel this need to stay on the go, we're really not allowing ourselves to receive that much, okay? So this is kind of like a double-edged sword, because we're not allowing ourselves to receive, but we're kind of convincing ourselves in a way that to slow down would be selfish in some sort, or that we would be lazy or slacking off, fill in the blank, whatever you're telling yourself here. When in reality, when we slow down, that's whenever we're able to open up for things to come into us. So we're not doing all these things for no reason, right? We're showing up to get results. We're showing up for a goal, for a cause. So when we slow down, we're able to receive that. We're able to reap what we sow. Okay, but if we just keep going, well, then we don't really realize. Maybe that's when we really miss things, right? So for some of you, you may be dropping a lot of things lately, having like moments that just kind of delay you or inconvenience you, and Spirit is saying, like, there's irony there. There's a message saying, like, it's important to slow down. It's important to take time and know that, like, you get to cater to yourself in that way. That gets to be baseline for you. That gets to be normal. You get to show up to things safely. You get to take your time. You get to let things unfold beautifully, like a flower. Like, you get to, like, let things bloom and in due time, because that's when it's best. That's when things can ripen. Like, allow things to ripen. I feel like a lot of you are preparing for new connections, new partnerships. Is that the Three of Pentacles? Yeah, we literally have the Three of Coins to this Three of Cups. Yeah, a lot of you are preparing for some collaboration, some networking that's going to help you. And it's going to be a very huge stepping stone, is what I'm hearing. Like, there's a lot happening behind the scenes. And so Spirit's really wanting to get you prepared for that, okay? So imagine, like, when it's like picture day for school, right? And really wanting to show up and put your best foot forward, wanting to wear your best outfit, wanting to, like, whatever, be the most, like, whatever. So wanting to show up in that way, and the anticipation around it. Not because you didn't feel good enough. Not that some people didn't, but it's not that you didn't feel good enough, but because you were excited for what you had to offer, what you had to, like, you were proud of yourself. You were excited, like, you wanted this outfit to represent you. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, this is what you're being, like, this is what you're moving through, what you're navigating. It's like a preparation. Spirit's asking you to surrender to, like, a different perspective of when you think that things should come. There's a lot of times that we're often protected in ways that we're not really perceiving as like that we're not even revealed, right? Like it just, we're never shown that, but like we're often protected in ways that are mysterious and in ways that seem like unfavorable in one way, but was preventing something in a different way, if that makes sense. And if we had known, then we would have chosen, but we wouldn't have chosen either. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that makes sense. And it's really important to not believe everything that you see at this time. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get some clarification on that. Okay, interesting. Take what resonates. For someone here, you're hyper-focused on some sort of connection that's just, it's not what it seems. And there's something here about like, kind of like how people can focus on someone on social media and just kind of reflect on their own life and be like, wow, my partner doesn't do this for me, or my people don't do this for me, or this doesn't happen for me. And it's like, that's, you're not seeing the whole picture. You're not seeing everything. And it doesn't mean that people are being like intentionally fake, you know what I mean? Not that, like, some people are, yes, but it's just like we can't see everything. So like there are a lot of details that we can't see. And when we start looking out into the world, when we start looking into these places where we're only getting a glimpse and we're assuming that we're getting the full story, that's when we start to really discredit our own journey. When we start to perceive flaws in our own journey that really aren't even there. They're curated there because of, or they're placed there because of like narrations that we tell ourselves, because of stories that we tell ourselves and convince ourselves about other people and places and things that we couldn't possibly know, right? There's just a message here about focusing on what you are growing, what's in store for you, and you will notice that things do speed up for you a lot more when you stop worrying about other people. And I know that can sound very harsh, but it is with so much love, actually. And Spirit is saying that with like so much love, and holding your hand, and it's just like, give it a try. Like, see what happens when you truly focus on yourself, okay? Now, let's put this to the side. Welcome back, pile number 3. This is going to be for the collective that picked the Jasper crystals. Sorry, I couldn't think of what they were called. The Jasper crystals and the Crystal Visions Tarot. Okay. So I'm immediately getting the vibes that you are somebody that has your own craft, you practice magic, you're considered spiritual, you're very aware of your intuition, your power, you work very intently with the energies around you, and you live very consciously, okay? That doesn't mean perfectly, and I feel the need to say that for somebody, so just gonna leave that there. But you live very conscious as possible, okay? There, okay. I'm trying to figure out how Spirit wants me to break this down first, but we're gonna start with this pile. So Spirit is asking, like, what would you do if you knew that, like, a huge like, what would you do if you knew that the only thing standing between you and what you're working towards is that bad habit you won't quit? And this has been coming up a lot lately for it's been coming up frequently throughout the week. You can check out my TikTok and my YouTube, but for somebody here, whether it's binging, spending, smoking, there's some form of like overindulgence, okay? And it's like there's a message within there of like the subconscious relationship that you have between abundance and yourself. So when you get abundance, when you get excess, what are you doing with that? Are you investing in yourself? Are you using it as an excuse to splurge on things that are actually not beneficial to your growth? Okay, so this is with so much love, but it's whenever we have to ask ourselves, like, okay, in what ways am I hindering my own growth, and then getting upset about the progress or lack thereof, okay? And it's almost like you're distorting your sense of time. So for some of you, smoking tree could be very significant for you, and this really distorting like your perception of time and how things are moving for you and towards you, okay? The concept of having a gratitude journal has been coming up a lot recently, and I feel like you might be connected to that collective, where Spirit is asking you to really slow down and take in what you do have around you and what has already been worked out for you and brought towards you, to kind of serve as reminders, right? Sometimes we get in our head, it's easy to do, and when things around us can seem very chaotic, our mind seeks to make sense of that to create safety. So sometimes we need these reminders to ground us and to remember of like, okay, these are the things that have been working out for me. This may feel chaotic right now, but I have proof that things have been working out for me. And I'm getting that for some of you, you have a tendency to gaslight yourself because of instances in relationships that you've been in where you've been gaslit, and Spirit is not coming through with Spirit is not coming through to shame or judge by any means. It's just to simply make us aware, right? Because when we're aware, we can observe more intentionally, so we're not absorbing. You're wanting a rebrand, you're wanting to change, you're wanting this new identity, but are you taking the steps to get it, or are you limiting yourself? Like, are you telling yourself that like what ways are you limiting yourself? Because for some of you, I can hear it now, the way that it's coming through. Someone here is telling themselves that like it can't be too extreme, it can't be too stark of a contrast. But babes, if you've been masking your whole life, if you have been catering to other people your entire life, like it's gonna feel extreme, you know? And that's why it's important to pace ourselves in a way that's comfortable and makes sense to us. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. We can appreciate if there are people that show up like genuine concern, but if someone is being judgmental and they're unable to process or cope with our decisions, our growth, our ability to show up unapologetically, that's not our problem. You are sure-footed in who you are. You are sure in what you know, what you've been building, who you've been becoming. You're safe to trust yourself. For some of you, this is calling you to reevaluate the people that you associate with, the people that you gather with, who around you panics every time that you start to be yourself, who around you starts putting a lot of rules on you when you start to live authentically. In what ways are you accepting that? In what ways are you delaying your own growth? In what ways are you looking around at things and feeling unsatisfied, but then not turning a blind eye to the ways that you're creating some of this? And it's Spirit is saying, like, what you're moving through, it's difficult enough. It's time to acknowledge the ways that we make it harder for ourselves. It's time to really take action. It's time to settle into this part of you, it's time to acknowledge that this is who you are. You are sure-footed. You are confident. You are powerful. This flame, wow. Like yeah, you are fiery. You're spontaneous. You are a mystery. You are not a problem to be solved. You are not to be figured out. Continue to get to know yourself more. Continue, allow others to get to know you as well. Don't settle for other people's restrictions and expectations. If other people put ceilings on you, you don't have to abide by that. Okay. Too much now. Too much. The moon in Judgment. It's time to take radical accountability. It's time to look at ourselves honestly. It's time to reflect. 6 of Cups. Something here about your inner child. What would make your inner child, like, what would you advise your inner child if your inner child was asking you for advice on this situation, if they were bringing to you this situation and you had them in front of you, what would you tell them? There's a level of radical accountability here, and knowing that this current version of you will at some point be a past version of you. Are you leaving things to your future self to fix or deal with? Are you abandoning yourself in this moment because you were abandoned prior? And it's not discrediting any of the pain that you've been through, but in what ways are we enforcing the trauma that we've already escaped? In what ways are we wounding ourselves over and over and over again and reliving the same things over and over and delaying our growth, delaying who we know ourselves to be? It's time to step up, step forward, and show up how you know you truly can and are capable of. Okay, collective. I appreciate you so much for stopping in today. Collective, this is a lot of growth. This is a lot of transformation, and it's important to really take the time to understand how much effort you've already put in. Okay, so again, none of these messages have been to be harsh on you or for spirit. There's no judgment. The judgment is coming from within, and the spirit is coming through to be like, hey, no, there's a level, like, we can accept this and move forward in confidence. We can accept this and move forward and align, show up differently, show up in a way that feels more true to us. Okay. All right, guys, until the next reading, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day or night. Just a reminder to subscribe if this resonated with you. If you'd like to book a private personal reading with me, I will leave the link in the description. But alrighty, guys, have a good one.